You know that moment when a tech giant quietly flips the script and suddenly the entire smartphone market feels like it's about to shift? Yeah, Samsung might be pulling exactly that with the Galaxy S26. On the surface, it looks like another sleek flagship, but under the hood, there's a brewing chip battle that could shake up pricing, performance, and even trust. Welcome back, viewers. Sam here! If you love diving deep into juicy tech twists, hit that like button, share this with your tech squad, and subscribe so you don't miss what's really going on behind the scenes. Okay, here's what's wild. A major leak just dropped a bombshell. Samsung might use its own factories to manufacture the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 for the S26.
Yep.
Instead of TSMC, the company that's usually behind Qualcomm's most powerful chips, Samsung could take the wheel. And that's no small decision. It changes everything from cost to performance to how hot your phone might get in your pocket. But before we get too deep, here's why this is a big deal. TSMC chips have long been known for their reliability, solid thermals, great battery life, and top-tier performance. Samsung's chips, well, they've had a rocky past. From overheating issues to weaker efficiency, not everyone's been a fan. So why even consider switching? Simple cost control. If Samsung manufactures the chip in-house, it could save a ton of money. Enough to keep Galaxy S26 prices steady, or even lower them slightly in a world where flagship prices keep climbing. And considering how many of us are already pushing our budgets for new phones, that's a move that could win back some love. But here's where it gets spicy. This Samsung-made chip isn't just a rumor anymore. It has a model number SMA8050S, and it's apparently still in active development. Meanwhile, TSMC's version is listed SMA850. Two chips, one name. Different factories, and likely very different results. So which one will end up in your S26? That might depend on where you live. Samsung's done region-based chip splits before, and we might be heading right back into that territory, except this time it's not Qualcomm vs Exynos, it's Qualcomm vs Qualcomm, just with different parents. And speaking of Exynos, don't count it out. Samsung is still working on the Exynos 2600, which could be used in some S26 models. That means we're possibly looking at 3 different chips across the same phone series. Confusing. A little. But it also tells us something big. Samsung is clearly rethinking its chip strategy from the ground up. Now imagine this scenario: Samsung's version of the Snapdragon actually performs well. Maybe not just good enough, but great, cooler, more power efficient, and more affordable. That would be a huge win, not just for Samsung fans, but for the entire Android ecosystem, especially since other brands like Xiaomi and Honor are rumored to be considering this cheaper Samsung-made version for their flagships too. That would seriously level the playing field and potentially slow down the endless price hikes. But if Samsung's chip isn't up to par, then we're back to square one. Higher battery drain, performance dips, and angry users wondering why their expensive phone runs hot during a Zoom call. It's a gamble, but one that Samsung seems willing to take. And let's not ignore the Apple factor. Apple's been crushing it for years with its own chips, blending hardware and software like peanut butter and jelly. Samsung might be chasing a similar dream, owning more of the stack so it can fine-tune everything from power management to gaming performance. The difference: Apple's A series chips have built a rock-solid rep. Samsung's still got something to prove. So would you be okay with a Samsung-made Snapdragon chip if it meant saving some cash? For some, that's a no-brainer if the performance holds up. For others, especially power users, it might feel like a risky compromise. Either way, the Galaxy S26 is shaping up to be way more than just a camera upgrade or a shiny new design. This chip situation could define how the phone is received across the globe. And with multiple chip strategies on the table, Samsung's next move could set a new benchmark or spark a whole new debate. The stakes are sky high and the clock's ticking. Whether Samsung chooses cost-cutting genius or performance-first precision, or somehow pulls off both, it's clear one thing: the S26 isn't playing it safe. And that might be the most exciting part of all.